Over on the island kingdom of Veruna, beasts from Zon were wreaking more havoc, but the hardy seafaring kingdom was ready to fight back.
Zon fire drakes and other monsters continue to assault shipping lanes and harass coastal villages, despite best efforts. Recommend construction of shipyards and warships sufficient to launch assault on nearby island. I shall lead it myself, with pleasure. It's time to teach these unwelcome guests some manners. Solon Rix, Commodore, Veruna Navy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Let's Play Total Annihilation Kingdoms. I'm your host, Neruz, and this is Chapter 14, Unwelcome Guests. Well, now that the tables have turned and we have access to gunpowder, it's time for it's time to meet up with Veruna and help them be good at boats, and maybe change the tide of battle down here. Now, unfortunately, the Aramonian gunpowder has not made its way to Veruna yet. Veruna are unfortunately still stuck with pre-gunpowder technology. That will change very soon. But until then, we will just have to be good at boats without it. And this mission also sees us our second monarch, Kyrena, who is, I believe, the youngest of Garacaius' children. Kyrena thing is water. Kyrena taking over the Isles of Veruna was also sort of Garacaius' homeland, so Kyrena could be seen as being the most true to her father. She gets a water ball attack. I don't know what about that is a water ball. Now, the interesting thing to note is that, as far as I'm aware, Kyrena is the only person with an instant attack as her basic like that. That is an AoE attack too. So she's actually really good at just peppering dudes from long range with that. She also has Water Burst, which is a water ball. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that these two spells were accidentally swapped. I don't know if that's actually what happened, but I think that's probably what happened. Now, being as her thing is water, Kyrena can do a thing when she goes into water, and she can turn into a mermaid. Yeah, she can. So we got some dudes, and we got Solon Rix's flagship. Remember Solon Rix? Solon Rix is great. He has a funny looking shell hat, and he is grizzled like you wouldn't believe. He gives zero shits about Zon and Taros or anything. He's just gonna... Well, he's actually gonna... I think he's gonna show up a lot more after we start getting gunpowder, and he's pretty cool. I like him. We will also lose the mission if he dies, or if Kyrena dies, so we're actually going to keep him back here, because Solon Rix's flagship is a flagship. Now, since this is our first real introduction to boats, let's talk about boats. The flagship is the construction boat for Veruna. Only Veruna have a flagship, nobody else gets one, because nobody else is good at boats. The flagship has access to a crappy little arrow. It's terrible, they aren't expected to do anything useful. The flagship is purely useful for its construction purposes. The first of those is to build harpoon towers, or floating towers. Floating towers are great, they have harpoons on them, and harpoons are the next best thing to cannons. They're not as good as cannons, cannons are better, but if you can't get cannons, harpoons will do you almost as good. Needless to say, we will be building harpoon ships. The second thing that our flagship can do is build a sea fort. Sea fort is the shipyard for Veruna. It's just an enclave on the ocean. No, it doesn't have an attack, it's just an enclave on the ocean. It makes boats. You build it in the water. It's really not complicated. I noticed that my harpoon boat, I'm pretty sure... No, they can't, okay. I thought most boats did in fact have some carrying capacity. Yes they do. Most boats can carry some people. Transport boats are just better at it. It may have bugged out because I was trying to do two of them at once. There we go. let's have our guys wander up here. And we'll build some skiffs to go scouting. Skiffs are the skeeters, the light stuff. They're pretty terrible, but they're cheap as piss, really fast, and the arrow they possess does actually work for... That was brutal. The arrow they possess is pretty good for taking out air dudes. And since we are facing Zon, there will be air dudes. Because Zon's thing is air dudes. They have access to the most flyers out of anyone, and as we'll see, they have a special flyy thing. Otherwise, Veruna has pretty much the same stuff as we've seen. Their wall has a little, like, spiky, pointy thing on it, but we won't be building any of those. Their gates are like a little shell, you know, same basic stuff. So, them go out there. And the way we're basically going to handle this is, because there wasn't enough room to build an enclave really on this island, I'm going to build it here. We'll build up, we'll move up and take this stuff, build some more dudes, head over and take this area, and then we'll take this area. And we will win when everybody is dead. There's a thing there. What's that? Ah, it's a bird. Attack the bird. Yes, kill the bird. Dead bird. And we have access to two new Veruna units that we hadn't seen in the previous time. The Parrot, which is the Verunan Air Scout, as I believe everyone gets a Tier 1 Scout, and they're all functionally around about the same. Some of them are a little bit faster, some are a bit slower. I think Parrot's a little bit slower than average and a bit more maneuverable than average. But overall, they're all, you know, pretty much identical. Move out! And the other one we get is the Catapult, which is actually sort of a ballista thing, but it's functionally, as far as I'm aware, pretty much identical to the Aramon version, which is a sort of more traditional catapult.
Yes. Yes.
There may be too many guys up here. The priestess is unfortunately completely unarmed. Karina, we're gonna need you for this. Or not actually. Casualties are heavy. Survive. Karina, a water blast would be... Oh. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, that could have gone worse. I believe this is also where the missions will start taking longer. I don't know if it's the next mission or the mission after, but we will soon come across a mission which is like half an hour long, and it will only get longer from there. Just stop that, Karina. Just stop.
You have a need.
transport boat. As you saw before, all boats can transport a few dudes, but transport boats can transport more than most. If you really want to do transporting, you want transport boats. Also may have noted earlier the hilariously stupid sound that harpoons make. I love that sound. That is the dumbest fucking sound. I wonder. Hey, yo. Infinite production, thank you. Let's start loading up dudes. Harpoons are shooting at someone, but I don't care. Oh, here we go, there's some griffins. Technically griffin riders, but yes. Griffin riders are pretty much the weakest of Zon's air dudes. As you just saw, they can even be picked out of the air by harpoons if Zon are being stupid and not moving them very well. People. I'm pretty sure they can go up to like 30. No, sorry, like into the 40s. Troll may be a bit much for just one warrior. 3 can probably do it though.
At your request.
Tanky motherfuckers. Oh, no, don't do that. There we go, full up at 32. Alrighty. Transport boats can carry 32 peoples. Now what? Screw it. Let's attack this landmass. You may note that that parrot is set to guard some of my infantry, and even though the infantry are in the transport, it's following the transport. Parrots are surprisingly smart. And let's bring Karina over. Consider how much easier that entire process was, doing the same thing in Total Annihilation. I will give them that much. Boats were way better. Now if only I could... Oh, I can totally do that! Oh yes, beautiful. I did not know you could do that. That is excellent. If you're wondering what I just did, I just shift dragged, which caused the load order to put on everything inside the selection box. I knew that worked in Supreme Commander, but I was not aware that Kingdoms could do it. That's pretty awesome. Pardon, one silly parrot. That dragon out of the sky, crossbowman. Shoot the dragon, you stupid crossbowman. Thank you.
Yes.
And we'll send them up there. Meanwhile, we'll load all these guys up and have them deal with the island. And we've reached the unit limit. Not a problem. Beast Lord. As you can see, Beast Lords make drakes. I'm fairly sure there is actually a way to do something similar to an attack move. I'm just not sure what it is.
Yeah. Move out.
Interesting. Doesn't have a lodestone on it. Ooh, there's a divine lodestone. That is the advanced lodestone. It's exactly like a lodestone, except more expensive and produces more mana. It's some moho mine. Magic moho mine. But a moho mine. Oh, look at this, it's Goblin Central down here. You might note that trolls don't leave corpses behind, they just turn white and fade away. I have no idea why that is, but a lot of Zon units do that. Oh, hello. They're going to destroy my enclave. How dare they? They destroyed my enclave. Oh shit. Oh god, that troll is ranked gold because he destroyed the enclave. Now he's like a super troll. Oh, this might actually be bad. thought I made another transport boat. I guess it got sunk, or maybe I didn't make it at all.
I await your word.
Crap. Oh, that gold rank troll is kicking so much ass. No, run away. And we're done. See you next time, ladies and gentlemen.